The training arena fell silent as Apex stepped into the combat ring. The fluorescent lights of the Galactic Combat Institute cast harsh shadows across her small frame, barely 5.5 feet tall, with soft skin that bruised easily and bones that would snap under a fraction of the pressure most species could withstand. To the dozen Cravathi cubs watching from the observation deck, she looked like prey. Rakan, the eldest of the cubs, pressed his massive clawed hands against the reinforced glass. His orange eyes tracked every movement as Apex rolled her shoulders, loosening muscles that seemed pitifully inadequate for what was about to happen. Around him, his siblings chittered nervously, their fur rippling with anticipation. "This is the legendary human?" whispered Teska, the smallest cub. "She looks breakable." Their instructor, a scarred Cravathi veteran named Jorah, silenced them with a growl. "Watch and learn. Cubs, today you understand why humans conquered 47 worlds before we even left our system." The combat drone activated with a mechanical whir. It was a Class 7 unit, designed to test apex predators species, like the Cravathi themselves. Beings evolved at the top of their food chains. The drone's 6 limbs unfolded, each tipped with plasma cutters that could slice through reinforced steel. Its sensors locked onto Apex. She didn't run. She didn't even flinch. The drone struck first, 3 limbs lashing out simultaneously. Apex moved, but not away. She moved into the attack, her body twisting at an angle that made Rakan's spine hurt just watching. The plasma cutters missed by millimeters. And suddenly, she was inside the drone's guard, her fist connecting with a joint in a precise strike that sent sparks flying. "Inadequate strength," Jorah narrated calmly. "A Cravathi cub could hit harder. But watch the placement." The drone recalibrated, attacking faster now. Apex danced through the assault, each movement economical, calculated. Where the cubs would have used raw power, she used leverage. Where they would have tanked hits with their thick hides, she simply wasn't there when the strikes landed. It was like watching water flow around rocks. A plasma cutter finally connected, scoring a line across her shoulder. Blood welled up, that thin, red human blood that clotted so slowly. The cubs gasped, expecting her to retreat, to call for medical assistance as any sensible being would. Apex's lips pulled back in something that might have been a smile. She changed tactics. No more pure evasion. Now she struck back. Each blow aimed at joints, sensors, power conduits. Her strikes barely dented the drone's armor. But that wasn't the point. She was accumulating damage, exploiting weaknesses, turning the machine's own momentum against it. When a limb swept toward her head, she grabbed it, used its force to swing herself up and onto the drone's back, her legs wrapping around its central processor housing. "Impossible," breathed Teska. "She's too weak to damage it there." But Apex wasn't trying to damage it. Her fingers found a seam in the armor plating, and with a technique that was more patience than strength, she worked it open. Then her hand was inside, pulling out fistfuls of wiring, ignoring the electrical shocks that made her muscles spasm. The drone thrashed violently. A limb caught Apex in the ribs with an audible crack. She fell, hit the ground hard, and didn't get up immediately. "Stop the match," Teska cried out. Jorah held up a hand. Apex rolled to her knees. One arm clutched against her side, where broken ribs ground together. Her face was pale, sweat dripping from her forehead. The rational thing, the sane thing, would be to yield. She stood up. The drone, damaged but still functional, oriented on her. Its remaining limbs struck in a coordinated pattern that no injured being should be able to evade. But Apex wasn't evading anymore. She was predicting. Her eyes tracked each limb, her body moving before they did, as if she could see the future by sheer force of will. She caught a limb, twisted, and used the drone's own weight to flip it. Before it could right itself, she was on it again, ripping out components with methodical brutality. When the drone's emergency protocols activated a final plasma burst, she rolled away, came up running, and drove her heel into its central processor, with every ounce of strength her damaged body could muster. The drone died with the electronic whine. Apex collapsed beside it, chest heaving, bleeding, broken. The cubs stared in absolute silence. Finally, Rakan spoke, his voice barely above a whisper. Why is she Apex, wearing human flesh? Jorah's mandibles clicked in approval. Wrong question, cub. She is not Apex despite being human. She is Apex because she is human. The old instructor gestured at the broken woman below. You were born predators. You have fangs, claws, armor, strength. You are dangerous. By design. Jorah's eyes gleamed. Humans? They were prey. Soft things that ran from everything with sharper teeth. They had no venom, no armor, no natural weapons. By every measure, they should have gone extinct. But they had something else. They had spite. They had the ability to look at a universe designed to kill them and say no. They turned their weakness into weapon. Their fragility taught them precision. Their fear taught them strategy. Their pain taught them endurance. The instructor pointed at Apex, who was now being helped to her feet by medical staff, still conscious, still alert. Every human carries the legacy of 10,000 generations that refuse to die. They are not strong, cubs. They are relentless. They are not fearless. They are terrified. But they fight anyway. Rakan watched as Apex limped out of the arena under her own power, declining the stretcher. Before she left, she looked up at the observation deck, made eye contact with him, and nodded once. In that moment, Rakan understood. The Cravathi were born to hunt. But humans? Humans chose to be hunters. And that made all the difference. Come, Jorah said, turning away from the window. Your training begins now. Today, you learn to fight, like prey that became predator. Today, you learn why humans are Apex, wearing flesh. As they filed out, Teska whispered to Rakan, I'm glad there are allies. Rakan nodded slowly, his respect for the small, broken, unstoppable human carved permanently into his mind. So am I, sibling. So am I.